All right, Armchair Athletes, this is D with Armchair Athletics. Ready to go over the Sunday slate of the 2019 NFL season, Week 1. Finally here, finally get it rolling. Preseason is over. Time to start ignoring our families again. I'm just kidding, guys. Hey, but let's have some fun. All right, so we're going to go over who I think are going to be the best selections for each position, okay? So first, of course, we're going to start out with quarterback. I love Pat Mahomes any Sunday. 7,200 is a pretty hefty price tag. He fared well against Jacksonville last year. He had one of his rougher games, but as far as the fantasy points went, this kid did just fine. I'm not particularly big on him, but if you're playing multiple lineups, of course you want to sprinkle in some Pat Mahomes. We got Jameis Winston against San Francisco. The 49ers had a decent defense against the pass last year. They actually finished 11th overall. That doesn't always translate to the quarterback scoring, however. So I'm not afraid to start Jameis Winston, but at 6,600, I definitely think we have some better options. You always want to look out for Cam Newton, sprinkle him in your multiple lineups. I really like Russell Wilson this week, going up against Cincinnati. Terrible defense overall, bottom of the barrel. This dude should have a field day. I'm not too sure you're going to see a 300-yard game from him where he gets that passing bonus. However, I do see him making up for it on the ground. He's definitely going to get himself or somebody else in the end zone at the other end of a pass. So I like Russell Wilson a lot this week. Matt Ryan is always a safe option. And Lamar Jackson is going to get a ton of rushing yards against Miami. I think they're going to do pretty well, however, against the pass, but that's not really Lamar Jackson's bread and butter. He's more of a clock manager than, a gunslinger. I like Phillip Rivers this week against Indy. He has good history against him. Dak Prescott likes to steal touchdowns from Zeke in the red zone. I could see him having a decent week. Jimmy G coming off of an injury, I'd prefer to wait and see how he does. However, he is going up against Tampa Bay. Terrible defense. They didn't do a whole lot to change that secondary, and he's got some weapons over there. Don't sleep on San Francisco throughout the season. But me personally, I do want to see exactly how he fares. Carson Wentz has a good matchup against Washington. Josh Allen has that rushing potential. But I'm going to go ahead and go with Kirk Cousins against Atlanta, who gave up the absolute most points all last season to the quarterback position in fantasy. So that's who I'm selecting as my quarterback. All right, time to move on to the running back position. We've got the two beasts of the league, really the top four. But when we look at the matchups and just the way that the team is structured at the moment, I love Ezekiel Elliott against the Giants, and I love Saquon against the Cowboys. Saquon is matchup proof. Zeke is pretty much too, but Saquon is completely matchup proof, and he is that offense. Both of them at 9K and 9,200 respectively. I really would. I'm going to have them in a ton of lineups, okay? But here's going to be my pick for week 1. I'm going to go with Dalvin Cook against Atlanta. It'll be a decent stack with him and Kirk Cousins because I do think he will be catching some passes out of the backfield. I know that the team came out and said they want to run the ball more, but they got to learn how to utilize all of their weapons. I love Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook against this Atlanta defense. I know that they're healthy, but it's still the Atlanta defense. All right, we're going to move on to the wide receiver position. All right. And my top pick at the wide receiver position is actually going to be Tyler Lockett against Cincinnati. All right, Tyler Lockett is going to have a field day. We don't know about DK Metcalf. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be playing this week, and if he does, his snaps are going to be very limited. All right, but of course, with Chris Carson going to be used to control the clock, Tyler Lockett still has huge breakout potential. I could easily see him having a 100-yard game and a touchdown, and also getting that 100-yard bonus. And at the tight end position, and if you notice, we're attacking certain defenses. All right, we're going to come on down here, and we are going to start Will Dissly, who is another one of my value picks, okay? I love Will Dissly in this matchup because Cincinnati gives up a ton of points to the tight end position. He was killing it his first 4 games of the season last year. All right, so that's who I'm selecting. Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, Tyler Lockett, and Will Dissly are probably going to be my core four. Now, Dalvin Cook is definitely replaceable in that price range. You got Leonard Fournette, who has a great matchup against Kansas City. Kansas City does give up a lot of points to the running back position, but another guy that I'm really going to be eyeing, and we went over him during the value picks video, is Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram has a beautiful matchup against Miami. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year running backs had a field day against Miami. Baltimore is going to want to control the ball and the clock, so I definitely am going to have a ton of Mark Ingram here. Dalvin Cook is going to be rather chalky. All right, so just remember, if you start him, you may not be doing very much to offset yourself against the field. All right, but of course we also have Chris Carson against Cincinnati. He would be a pretty fair start, but I'm going to have Dalvin Cook in a ton of my lineups. All right, guys, so that's my core four for this weekend. We got Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, Tyler Lockett, Will Dissly. You still have $6,000 left in your average remaining salary, so if you pick the correct defense and find yourself some sleepers over here in the wide receiver position, you're definitely going to be able to fit in a couple of studs in your lineups. Good luck, everybody. Have a great first weekend. I appreciate your time. Thanks for viewing the video. If this helped you, like and subscribe. Peace.